Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I want to say welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. I hope you guys can hear me okay. Give me a yes in the chat if you can hear me all right. And also, as you come into the chat, please shout out your city. This is not going to be a long conversation because I don't want it to be long, and I've got a meeting in a couple of minutes. But y'all are my people, and I talk to you every day, so I want to come in here and say hello to you. So anyway, Stacey Abrams is running for governor in the state of Georgia. And I saw this interesting article in NPR where it basically says Black men, a key voting bloc, leave Georgia's race an open question. So what's going on, Dolan Carter? I see you in there, Dolan. Is that Stacey Abrams and her campaign? They're trying to figure out how do we get Black men to show up to vote for us? How do we get Black men to back us up? And Hoffa B says Mark Lamar Hill's on Twitter coming at you crazy. Mark Lamar Hill, unfortunately, Mark Lamar Hill's become a political operative, and I was happy to mentor him because I think he's a great scholar. But the problem with Mark is that when Black people start getting too aligned with these political interests that are controlled by white people, they end up losing their place. They end up losing their positioning, mainly because you live in an anti-Black society. Give me a yes or no if you understand this. We do not live in a society where people want to see us do well. We do not live in a society where people want us to prosper. We do not live in a society where people want us to benefit. In fact, you live in a society where nobody even expects you to benefit from your own labor. Remember, America was built on Black slave labor. That's why I participated in Tariq Nasheed's reparations rally this weekend, because there's a debt owed. There's a $13.5 to $14 trillion debt that is owed to Black people. And if you read books by Dr. Claude Anderson, who I went to go see last night, by the way, he sends his regards, he sends his love. He's not going to come public very much because, he's getting older. But, God bless him. He wrote a great book that everybody should go buy at powernomics.com called Black Labor, White Wealth. Black Labor, White Wealth is a book that breaks down the history of exactly why they owe you, how much they owe you, how much they were charging for your labor, how much money they made, how they profited, laws they made that specifically kept you from getting what you deserve. And the problem that they're having right now, and this is the issue that the Stacey Abrams campaign is still grappling with, is they're grappling with this very basic idea. And I think I can make this pretty short because I told you guys I have a meeting, so I can't really dig into this the way I want to. Maybe I'll come back and address it again. They're grappling with a very basic question of, damn, what do we do with the fact that Black men are not as dumb as they used to be? What do we do with the fact that the Black voter base is actually listening to people like Dr. Boyce Watkins and Dr. Claude Anderson, and they're actually learning the history of racism in America? They're actually learning what they actually deserve. They're actually learning what the idea of quid pro quo in politics that Jewish people apply all the time, that Asian people apply all the time, that white people apply all the time, that gay people apply all the time, that immigrants apply to all the time. What they're learning, quid pro quo. They're learning what true equity looks like. They're no longer a group of people we can drag around by the nose and just say, hey, everybody show up and vote, y'all. Booties to the polls, y'all. Booty to the polls. We got strippers at the polls, y'all. We got strippers, liquor, and fried chicken at the polls. Come to the polls, y'all. I don't know if anybody else has seen this. I mean, some of the campaign strategies they use for Black people are about the most degrading, most demeaning, most anti-Black, most ignorant, most pathetic, saddest, most disgusting things that anybody could do. You can't run these same ads to other groups of people. You can't do that. You can't run minstrel shows and then get people to show up and vote for you in other communities, but you do that with Black people because you think that's what Black people want. Well, maybe that's true. I mean, don't get me wrong. I admit, people like me, we're not the majority. We're not the majority. When I say, hey, I want to talk to all intelligent Black people, I kind of know about 8 out of 10 of y'all are going to walk out of the room, right? I'm not looking for the other 8. I'm looking for the talented 10th or the talented 20%, the people that actually want to do better. I'm looking for the people, not in terms of education, because like Mark Lamar Hill shows you and others. Now, Mark's not a bad guy. He's not a bad scholar, but Mark shows you there can be some educated fools. There can be some severely miseducated people. And the way I've learned to view it as a scholar is that a highly educated Black person who doesn't do a whole lot in terms of advancing the Black community is like a person who's been injected with a virus, and that virus is white supremacy. And these injections of this virus come from these institutions, these big universities, typically big white universities, that indoctrinate you at a very deep level on white supremacist concepts that you carry your whole entire life. But at the same time, you have a contradiction because you know you're Black, but yet you've been trained to be a white supremacist. So what happens then? Well, then you become some highly educated or some wealthy Negro who ends up claiming the Black flag, claiming to be pro-Black, but you're doing things that are not benefiting the Black community. That's where you get the Shaquille O'Neals and the Charles Barkleys and the LeBron Jameses who went out of their way to argue in favor of the NBA, in favor of those who were attacking Kyrie Irving. Pay attention now. They were going after Kyrie this weekend over a retweet. You can't tell me that there's any way you can justify this idea that this man should be punished for a retweet. You didn't go after Jeff Bezos. Why? Well, because Jeff Bezos is white, rich, and powerful. You didn't go after Amazon, but you go after Kyrie Irving. Amazon is making money from this documentary. Kyrie's losing money because he retweeted. Amazon's making money because they are spending money marketing this film. So how the hell can you defend and support this public lynching of this guy? It's insanity. But that's what happens when you have Black faces in high places that have been severely miseducated. So I actually can't even really dig into this the way I want to. I apologize, everybody. I'm going to have to come back to this topic because I've got an important meeting I've got to get to. But I promise you, I'm going to come back and I'm going to hit this, and I'm going to explain to you exactly why I believe Stacey Abrams is having trouble getting Black male voters. And I'll give you a hint. Here's a little foreshadowing. It mostly relates to the fact that even though you have a Black face like us, Stacey, and I don't have anything against you, Stacey, you are unfortunately in alignment with individuals who have proven to have zero interest in supporting the success of Black men in this country. It ain't who you are, Stacey, that people have the problem with. It's who you rolling with, who you rocking with. You're rocking with people that are pushing the LGBT agendas down our throats. You're rocking with people that are putting immigrants ahead of Black people. You're rocking with the same president, Joe Biden, who incarcerated more Black men than anybody in American history. You're rocking with people that won't even say the word reparations. So it's not you. It's not Stacey. I think Stacey is very nice. She seems very smart. It's who your backers are. And that makes sense, right? Think about this. If I walk into Burger King and my cousin is wearing a Burger King uniform, I know he's my cousin. I know he loves me. And he says, yo, man, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to get you some free cheeseburgers, right? Or I can get you a job at Burger King. I'm like, cool. Okay, thank you, cuz I appreciate that, right? But here's the thing. My cousin is my cousin. But first of all, he's giving me food that's going to make me sick and kill me eventually, give me diabetes and all that. But then second of all, if I say, hey, cuz, I need your help. Can you help me with something? He's going to say, yeah, man, I would. But my boss says I can't. Or let's say that I come in and let's say I'm really hungry. And I say, hey man, can you slip me a cheeseburger, man? Can you hook me up? And he'll be like, man, I can't because my boss is watching. My boss says I can't give you nothing. And he's like, man, I'm really hungry. Can you help me out? Like I'm starving, man. He's like, nah, man, I can't because my boss is telling me. So here's the thing. It's not that my cousin doesn't love me. It's that his employer doesn't love me. His employer don't give a damn about me. So I cannot make the mistake of thinking that because he's my cousin, that he's going to be representing my interests when he's wearing a Burger King uniform. Do you follow what I'm saying? Do you get the logic? Do you get what I'm saying? So a lot of Black people, this is a standard political trick. They will send Black people with a face that looks like you. They will make you think that they're your friends. And then they will be coming wearing the uniform of the Democratic Party. Right. Or it's, it's just like in football. If I see my homeboy, he's wearing the opposing team's uniform, I can't think that he's going to help me score points just because he's my cousin. No, he's wearing the other uniform. So you got a lot of Negroes in here that don't know who they are. They're not wearing the Black people uniform. They're wearing the uniform of the Democratic Party. And when you wear the uniform of the Democratic Party, I'm not looking at who you are, or I'm not looking at where you come from. I'm looking at what uniform you're wearing. And Stacey Abrams, your biggest problem, in my view, is not who you are. It is the uniform that you're wearing. That Democrat-Republican uniform means that those people do not have your best interests at heart, and Black people are being smart enough to see right through this nonsense. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk about this a little bit later. I apologize. I'm late for this meeting. I got to make it to this meeting. I want to give a quick shout out. I give Dr. Boyce shout outs. I want to give a quick shout out to one of the Black owned companies that helps to sponsor this podcast, the Amazing Magnet, .myshopify.com. The URL's on the screen. The companies are run by a sister named Jessica Funchez, and she says that she has the 2022 Amazing Magnet Party Digital. You can get your tickets for the party, and she has a party, and she has a code, Amazing Pro, that you can use to get discounts on the tickets. So if you go to amazingmagnet.myshopify.com, you can support this Black-owned business. If you'd like a Dr. Boyce shout out on this podcast, you can go to drboycefinance.com, and I'll shout out your business. There's a fee attached. That's how we raise money, but it's not a big fee. So feel free to go there. So if you could, please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. I promise you I'm going to come back and do a deeper analysis on the Stacey Abrams stuff and everything else. But right now, I got to get to this meeting. So I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. God bless you. And I'll talk to you soon. And remember, your goal is to be free. So if you want to go vote in the elections or whatever it is, don't think I'm ever going to tell you not to. I will never tell you what to do. I'm just going to tell you what I'll do, and I'm going to tell you why. And that's really the goal. I don't want you necessarily doing anything that supports any agenda that does not work for you. And that's the closest thing I can do to showing you that I really love you and I want what's best for you. So take care, guys. Have a good day. God bless you. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in a little bit. Peace.